talk right now. I'm doing hot girl.
Fuck being good, I'm a bad bitch. I'm sick of motherfuckers trying to tell me how to live.
Oh god, the things that I see on social media makes me wonder really. I didn't even know you had to shave your belly or like your toes or your fingers. Society truly amazes me. Okay, let me tell you a little secret. Ever since we entered the first lockdown, I haven't shaved anything. And let me tell ya, my mother dragged me for it. And I was like, huh? But I'm not even seeing anybody. Why are you calling me Chewbacca? Like, isn't like having armpit hair like normal? And if you know me, like I question everything. And when someone annoys me, I have to make a point to prove them wrong. So here we go. Why the fuck are we expected to remove our body hair as women? Okay, people, before you tell me that men also have to shave and in this society they're also expected to shave, I did my research and yes, it has increased the number of people or men that remove their body hair, but it's not for the same reasons. Okay, I'm gonna put it here and here. And now we can move on and talk about women and how the expectation to remove body hair is totally sexist. Cue my unshaved smart brain. So after reading a lot, I kind of figured out how it works and why we are expected as women to remove our body hair. And it's very simple, the answer. We are basically caught in a vicious cycle. And in the Western world, this is actually something that happens very often, not just with body hair, but basically with almost everything in the beauty industry or just trends in general. The 3 steps of this vicious cycle start with first, a trend. Then, capitalist companies find a way to make profit out of the trend. And third, these trends are cemented as a need in our societies due to how companies play with our insecurities to make us feel like we need their product to keep up and fit in. Let's take this vicious cycle and put it with body hair removal. So first we have the trend. It's interesting to notice that the removal of body hair was not an issue until World War I and World War II, because before those two events, women's fashion and clothes would hide most of their bodies, so removing body hair wasn't really an issue because we couldn't really see any hair or body hair except for like the face. But then as women entered the workforce after World War I and World War II, fashion really shifted into more revealing clothes, but also clothes that were more comfortable and had less garments, so women could move and do their activities and keep up with their new tasks that they had now that they entered the workforce. Due to this big change in the fashion industry, the new trend was that women had to have smooth skin, and so their leg had to be shaved, or they could wear nylon tights. And then Gillette, a razor company, saw this new demand and new trend as a way to sell their product to a bigger demographic. And that's how we get to our second step, capitalization and monetization of trends. So razor companies saw this new change in fashion as a way to introduce their feminine products. They started an ad campaign saying that to be desirable and feminine, women had to shave their body hair because this was like the standards in Europe and the expectation that women had in other countries, so they had to do it to be beautiful. These campaigns started in 1915 and continued throughout the years. But then, during World War II and shortly after, something happened that really boosted their sales, and it was the fact that nylon tights became very scarce. There was a shortage of nylon tights, so women really only had one option because it was becoming really expensive to buy tights. So they had to use razors since it was more affordable. As companies had introduced and cemented the social norm that to be attractive, your skin needed to look smooth, it was only natural that with the shortage of nylon tights, the demand for their product was going to increase. From there, shaving and removing body hair was normalized and expected, especially on women. So then we get to the point of how companies and trends play with our insecurities to make us feel like we need the product to keep up and fit in.
Gigi Hadid shows off her strength and stamina for a new shoot. And she is also rocking a new beauty look that we aren't so used to seeing on supermodels. That's right, armpit hair.
In this case, since removing body hair became a standard and a social norm mainly for women, especially because we often link the hairless woman as representing the ideal of attractive, smooth, clean, and feminine, while conversely, the hairy woman is constructed as unattractive, stubbly, unclean, and masculine. So long story short, femininity is associated with hairless bodies. So now, the fact that women are expected to have hairless bodies create insecurities and, in the worst cases, body dysmorphia amongst this demographic. And as humans, we tend to go for the easy fix, right? So instead of trying to solve these insecurities by accepting our bodies the way they are, we purchase beauty products that capitalize on said insecurities. It can even reach the point of body dysmorphia, which is a mental health disorder. So the only way we find to stop the distress is quote unquote fix our physical appearance, because nobody has taught us, in the media at least, nobody teaches us that having body hair is normal and that these trends are not the reality, that you're not supposed to be born without hair, and that after you go through puberty, it's kind of normal that you have body hair, which actually help you protect you from bacteria, especially in your genitalia. Let's move on. So after all of this, we can see how the cycle is complete and we can start again with another trend. But body hair removal seems to perpetuate as a trend and as a quote-unquote need throughout time. So trends come and go, right? But removing body hair seems to be primordial to today's society. My guess, with all that I have read so far, is that the sexualization and the objectification of women's bodies is one of the main reasons of why this trend keeps persevering in time and why it is so popular. The moment we objectify a woman, we see them as products, and we live in a world where everything that we consume must be perfect. It only makes sense that the moment women are seen as a products to sell, they must look perfect for the customer being, of course, both women and men. It only increases the idea that to fit in and to be attractive, we have to look like what is portrayed in social media. To quote our research, in their exploration of the depilation norm for women, Torian and Wilkinson found that women paid a quote-unquote social price for failing to depilate their body hair. This is kind of concerning if you think about it. Okay, so even men are now shaving more than in the last decade, but not because of this social norm, and this is what is super important to highlight in my opinion, because women and men are not expected the same thing when it comes to the same trend. And this is what kind of makes me think that it's because women are seen as a product and are objectified. Because for men, it is quote unquote over 1/3 of participants stated that they were not influenced by others to initially engage in body depilation. So this is basically saying that women are expected to shave because of social norms, but men are not. If this is not concerning to you, then we have a big problem. Feminism and its ideology. Nonetheless, in recent years, we can see a slow change. This is thanks to feminism. Feminists have been promoting a natural body and an acceptance of self, but also changing the body for what we want ourselves and not because society expects something from the individual. More and more women and men are starting to normalize normal bodies and realistic standards. We see campaigns such as Dove promoting a normal body, and personally, I see in my social media more normal bodies, or at least influencers trying to promote the normal body, because I think it's also kind of a trend. But I think that is actually a good trend. My opinion on this: social norms or social constructs are not evil or downright bad. They usually help our society to be more structured and to follow a certain order, which is not bad, because when we live with multiple people with different opinions, sometimes you have to at least have something structured for it to make it work and for the society to go towards the same goal. But I personally have to agree with the feminist movement when it comes to this topic. Being myself a woman, growing up, I wanted to shave and remove my body hair because I thought it would make me more of a woman. If we don't see the danger in losing the real sense of femininity and even masculinities to companies who wants to sell us a mere product, then I think it's time for us to reflect on this. Do not get me wrong. If you remove your body hair for yourself, do it. We cannot deny that sometimes it helps us to be cleaner or to feel just more comfortable, because let's be real, body hair sometimes itches, especially like the pubic pubic one. But yeah, I do have to agree with feminist movement to normalize a more normal body, because I think that if we continue to push this idea that we have to have the perfect Photoshop body, it's going to lead us to a lot of social issues such as eating disorders, mental health disorders, mental illnesses, or depressions, and many other stuff that I don't even want to begin to talk about. So there you go. I'm not shaving or removing my body hair anymore. Y'all can go die on another hill or take it with the wall. It is hard though. I will admit it, that it is hard to go outside with unshaved armpits sometimes. Like, you do think, what are other people think about me? So thank you guys. This was my video. I hope you liked it. So thank you for listening to me. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what you think, what your thoughts are on body hair removal. And I'll see you next time for another video, probably about consent. Have a good day. Subscribe, share. Bye.